All right, let's get right into it. If you're a homeowner in the Chicago area, you know some decisions are just bigger than others, right? Especially when that winter chill sets in. And today, we're talking about one of the big ones, your water heater. This isn't just a piece of equipment. It affects your comfort, your wallet, and yeah, your daily sanity.
So this is really the heart of the matter, isn't it? You've got two main choices, the old school tank heater or the newfangled tankless system. And you know, when those Chicago winds start blowing, the best choice isn't always what you think. It gets a little more complicated.
So before we can pick a winner, we've got to understand how they're fundamentally different. Because while they both give you hot water, how they do it, well, they're total opposites. Think of it like this. One is all about storing, and the other is all about creating on the spot.
First up, the classic. The one you probably have in your basement right now, the tank water heater. It's basically just a giant insulated thermos, right? It holds, say, 40 to 75 gallons of water, and it works around the clock to keep that water hot and ready for the exact moment you need it. And then you've got the total opposite, the tankless model. This thing is a small, compact unit that just chills out until you need it. The second you turn on that hot water tap, bam, it fires up, heating the water instantly as it passes right through. No storage, just heat, right when you ask for it.
And honestly, this right here, this is the core of the whole debate. With a tank heater, you've got a big supply, but it's limited. You can run out. A tankless heater, though, theoretically, it gives you an endless supply because it's not pulling from a reserve. If you remember one thing, remember this difference.
Okay, now for the fun part. Let's put these two systems through the ultimate challenge, the Chicago winter test. Because this is where the rubber really meets the road. This is when the temperature of the water coming into your house plummets and things get interesting.
You see, it's pretty simple physics. In the summer, the groundwater coming into your house might be, 50, 60 degrees. But in the winter, it can drop to near freezing. That means your water heater, I don't care which one you have, has to work so much harder to get that water up to a nice toasty 120 degrees.
So how does each one handle that extra workload? Well, the tank heater solution is simple. It just fires up more often to keep that big tank of water at the right temp. The tankless unit, on the other hand, does something a little different. It might actually slow down the water flow just a tiny bit to make sure it has enough time to blast that freezing cold water with enough heat.
And this leads us to what is maybe the most important takeaway of this whole thing. Here in a cold climate like Chicago, it's not really about tank versus tankless. What truly matters is getting a unit, either type, that is sized correctly and has the power to keep up with your needs when it's 10 degrees outside.
All right, so we've got the basics down. Now let's really put them head to head. We're going to look at the big three: space, cost, and day-to-day performance. Everything you need to know when you're actually thinking about buying one.
Let's talk real estate first. In the space department, it's not even a contest. Tankless wins hands down. Tank heaters are big and clunky. They need their own spot on the floor. Tankless units, they're sleek. They hang on the wall. But, and you knew there was a but, right? Installing a tankless system isn't always a simple swap. You might need to upgrade your gas lines, your venting, maybe even your electrical panel. That's a huge consideration.
Now for the money talk, energy efficiency. This is where tankless heaters really get to brag. They don't suffer from something called standby loss. See, a tank heater is always burning a little energy, 24/7, just to keep its water hot. A tankless heater doesn't do that. It only works when you need it. Now, how much you actually save? Well, that's going to come down to how much hot water your family really uses.
So let's just lay it all out, side by side. You can see the trade-offs really clearly here, right? The tank heater has a lower price tag up front, but you're stuck with a limited supply and that standby energy loss. The tankless heater, it gives you that endless hot water and it's more efficient, but you're going to pay more to get it installed, and it takes up way less space. It's really a classic balancing act.
Look, buying a water heater isn't like buying a new toaster. This is a long-term relationship, right? So let's talk about what to expect down the road. You know, the maintenance, the upkeep, and how long these things are actually going to last.
Yeah, neither of these is a true set it and forget it kind of deal. With a tank heater, you really should flush it out every so often to get rid of all the gunk and sediment that builds up. And for a tankless unit, especially with our hard Chicago water, you'll probably need to descale it to keep it running at peak performance. But honestly, the most important thing for both of them is this: get a high-quality, professional installation. Seriously, don't cut corners here. It makes all the difference.
Okay, we've gone through all the tech specs, the performance in the cold, the costs, everything. So now let's put it all together. Let's build a simple framework so you can make the absolute best choice for your home and your family.
So when does it make sense to stick with a good old tank heater? Well, if you've got a big family and everyone is trying to shower at 7 a.m., that big reservoir of already hot water is your best friend. It's also the no-brainer choice if you're just looking for a simple, lower-cost replacement for an old unit that's already there.
And what about going tankless? Who's the perfect candidate for that? Well, if you are tired of running out of hot water ever, this is for you. Or if you're trying to reclaim some space in a tight utility closet. And of course, if cutting down on that wasted energy and lowering your bills long-term is a big deal for you. The only catch is making sure the one you buy can handle everyone using hot water at once.
Okay, ready to make a decision? Here's your 4-step game plan. Step 1, be honest about your family's hot water habits. When's the peak time? Step 2, go look at your utility closet. What's your space situation? What do your utility lines look like? Step 3, run the numbers. Compare that upfront cost versus the potential savings over 10 years. And step 4, this is the most important, talk to a licensed local pro who knows what works in our climate.
And that really brings us back to the fundamental question, doesn't it? For your family, what matters more? Is it that on-demand efficiency and the luxury of endless hot water, even if it means a bigger investment up front? Or is the tried-and-true predictable power of a traditional tank the undisputed king of your home? Only you can answer that.